And they were pulling the same chariot, those two horses were. And yet in Revelation 6, verse 7 and 8, it only has a pale horse. My immediate question was, well, what's a grizzled horse? What's a bay horse? So I go off to the library to check out the horse encyclopedia. That's where I finally found my information. I didn't even know there was a horse that is actually described among people who know horses. It's actually described as a grizzled horse. But there is such a horse. And in the definition of the word or the description of a grizzled horse, it says a pale horse or a horse of a lackluster color. I looked at that. I thought, well, they use the word pale here. John used the word pale, describing the fourth horse in Revelation. And then I looked under bay, and it said a horse of a pale brown color.
So now you have 4 out of 4 colors.
Yes, because the adjective pale was used in defining the two horses that pulled the one chariot. And in my mind, I said, bingo. It's a match. And that's when I became convinced that these were, in fact, the exact same prophecies. And by merging the two information banks together, I would be able to decipher what all this meant. So I went back to Revelation chapter 6, and I want you to go with me there now, because we're going to see exactly what these horses mean, what they represent. Now, I cheat sometimes when I'm studying. I take the easy things first. I actually learned this when I was in school, because they always taught me in algebra, you take what you know and you use that to determine what you don't know. Well, that's my approach to Bible prophecy. I will always find it, okay, I know this and I know this. Let's see if I can use this information to figure out the rest. Well, that's what we're doing here on this study of the 4 horses today. So the easiest horse, and the first one I understood, was the red horse. Now, back at the red horse there in chapter number 6 of Revelation, it states there that the rider of the red horse had a great sword. Now, some people have immediately jumped to the conclusion that means war. But it does not say that here. It just simply tells us that the red horse rider had a great sword, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Okay, what could this mean? We know these symbolize spirits that are in the world. And somewhere along the line, it dawned on me that there is a major international spirit whose official color is red. And when God picked these colors, He did not pick them indiscriminately. He picked them with purpose. He knew exactly what He was doing. He was designing this prophecy so that some would understand it and some would not, because that's what the Bible says He does when He is veiling His truth from some while revealing it to others. So He picked these colors on purpose. I realized there was an international spirit in our world that's very powerful. It's changed the course of the world, and it's actually known as the red power. Of course, by now, you know that I'm talking about communism or Marxism or socialism. These are all synonymous terms. So let's see if the spirit of communism fulfills all of the descriptions of the red horse rider. Read that verse one more time, if you would, Eddie, there.
Sure. The horse that was red, power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Okay, stop right there. Everywhere international communism goes, there's revolution, whether you want to talk about Vietnam, the Congo, Korea, China, Soviet Union. Everywhere communism goes, it takes peace from the earth. There's always revolution. So there's no doubt about it. That one fits. What's the next one?
And that they should kill one another.
Now that's what's interesting. Not only do communists kill their enemies, but they inevitably end up killing one another. There's all kinds of political purges. You've heard of the Cultural Revolution in China. It's been estimated 60 million people died in the Cultural Revolution. So that certainly fits, that they should kill one another. And finally,
it was given a great sword.
And the Bible says that the red horse rider was given a great sword. And in my mind, that speaks of military might. Now, if you put the military might of the ex-Soviet Union and China together, even right now, who would want to take on Russia and China at the same time? No one. It would be a terrible situation to find yourself in, because they have great military might. Now, I started from zero, Eddie, and came to the conclusion that communism was the red horse of Revelation chapter 6.
I guess one really also has to ask the question, why would God pick certain colors?
So this is very close to what he did on the beast of Daniel 7.
Yeah.
He picked symbols that would have relevance at the time of fulfillment. It's the same way with these horses. That's the reason he picked these particular colors.
Right.
Okay, now let's take a look at the black horse. Now, read once again for us the description of the black horse so we can renew in our minds, Eddie, and follow exactly what the description says.
I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. What does that add up to?
Well, I was thinking about communism, and is there another spirit in the world similar to communism that has something to do with balances? Now, when we think about balances, we think about trade. If you go to buy something, you have to have a scales, you have to have a set of balances. And it dawned on me that there is an international spirit which is actually the counterpart to communism, and of course it's capitalism. Capitalism, its message is not, we're going to conquer you, we're going to fight you. Our message is, we have the most thriving economy on the face of the earth. Our people enjoy a higher standard of living than any other people on the face of the earth. So why don't you want to be like us? And then when you go ahead to look at the next verse where it says, a measure of wheat for a penny, 3 measures of barley for a penny, don't hurt the oil and the wine. It's like a prophetic stock market report. We hear it several times every day. Dow Jones Industrial's up so much, AT&T down so much. And in any given political campaign, Bill Clinton said it this way, it's the economy, stupid. If you hurt the economy, you're going to be out of office. You know, George Herbert Walker Bush enjoyed 90% approval rating after the Gulf War. However, Bill Clinton was able to convince the American people that the economy was going south, and people in capitalist countries do vote their pocketbook because that's the spirit they have. We're dealing with spirits here. These are 4 spirits. The spirit of capitalism absolutely permeates nations that are capitalistic. It's not true in the communist world. They have a total different agenda. They have total different motivations. So consequently, when we look at this entire picture here, we're seeing what I believe is a prophetic stock market report. And
well,
then
it's actually giving the value. A measure of wheat for a penny. What's the value of wheat? It's a penny. 3 measures of barley for a penny. This is the value. This is exactly how capitalism works. What is it? What is its value? How does it change through time?
And I think one of the telling statements there is, see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Don't hurt the economy, or we'll throw you out of office. I mean, you can do almost anything, Eddie, as we've seen in recent times.
And get away with it.
And get away with it. Except hurt the economy. Nobody wanted Bill Clinton to be kicked out of office because our pocketbooks were thick.
You know, I had read after studying the study manual counterpart of this course, this course in writing, in a book form, and I had read about the black horse and capitalism, and then my wife and I went off on a vacation to Europe. And we flew into Zurich, Switzerland, and we went from the airport downstairs to the train station. The first thing I see when we get to the escalator is a bank, a place to change money. And I looked, I stopped, I said to my wife, I said, look at that right there. She said, what? I said, that sign right there on the bank, it's a pair of balances. This is where you change your money. It's at the airport, it's at the train station, this is where you change your money. I said, balances. Capitalism. This is all about it. And then we discovered, it was not long later, that I think it was someone had pointed out to us that on the front of a $1 bill, right there, there's a pair of balances right there on the $1 bill. This is capitalism.
There's no doubt about it. That is capitalism. Now, to give you some more information to hold on to here that's really powerful, while I was studying all of these things, I was following events in Germany at the time, and there was an election held in Germany between the Social Democrats and the Christian Democrats. Now, the Social Democrats were socialist. The Christian Democrats were capitalists.